Hey, shalom everyone. This is Amir Tsarfati. It's kind of a little late here, but I don't know if you're following me on Telegram, but I'll just give you a recap of the last few hours of what is going on in the Middle East, because I don't think I remember anything like that. So I'll wait for you to connect. And again, what I'm about to tell you right now, please share, okay? I don't think your news will report that. So please press the share button. And this is it. It's quite interesting news. I kind of didn't know if I should give it to you or not, but I don't think I've ever seen in few hours that many things happening at the same time. It's night here, so I don't want to wake up anyone here in the house, but so I'll be very brief, okay? I'll be very brief. And again, please share this, okay? So in the last few hours, let me explain what happened. Israel attacked multiple times in Lebanon against Hezbollah. Israel struck over 30 times in Syria against former Assad regime military bases that HTS, the current jihadists, are about to take over. So again, Syria and Lebanon are clashing right now, although they always say there is some agreement between them that they're killing each other as we speak. Okay. Iraq. The Iraqi Ministry of Defense announced that they received information that imminent Israeli strikes are going to take place on terrorist targets in Iraq. Iran has elevated its alertness to the maximum, and Iranian fighter jets, old but still fighter jets, are patrolling all across the skies of Iran right now. And the American Ministry or Department of Defense just announced 3 more carriers are on the way to the Middle East. I do not recall. And by the way, and I forgot to tell you, the best is that multiple U.S. strikes in Yemen, So, you want to go over it? And this is just in the last few hours, okay? So in the last few hours, multiple attacks in Lebanon by Israel, multiple attacks in Syria by Israel, multiple attacks between Lebanon and Syria, multiple attacks by America in Yemen. Iraq is bracing for an Israeli strike. Iran is bracing for a U.S. strike. And the American Department of Defense is sending 3 more aircraft carriers to the Middle East. Now tell me if you remember anything like that. And that's just the last few hours. Something big is cooking, and Iran understands from the words of President Trump today that it's time to either cut a deal where their nuclear program is completely dismantled, or there will be strikes. I want to remind you, folks, that the Iranians are afraid of Trump. Credible threats always make them do something. Non-credible threats make them laugh. When was a credible threat in the last few years? I'll tell you when. At least 3 times in the last 30, 40 years, there were credible threats that caused the Iranians to do something, dramatic. In 1980, hours, or maybe even during the inauguration of President Reagan, knowing that Reagan is not playing games, the Iranians released all the U.S. hostages from the U.S. embassy that they were locked up over 400 days. I think 54 diplomats. They were released when they knew something big is coming. That was 1980. In 1988, I believe. In 1988, I believe, the U.S. accidentally shut down an Iranian passenger plane, and the U.S. realized it was a mistake, but the Iranians thought it was not, and they immediately stopped the Iran-Iraq war and surrendered. That was a big thing. They thought that they're next, because the Americans said after Iraq comes Iran. And no, that was in that was at the time of the that was at the time of the war in Iraq. And the last time, in 2003, I believe, the Iranians stopped or suspended their military nuclear program because they were afraid of some American threats. But then when Obama was elected and they thought nothing's going to happen to us, in 2006 they resumed their military program for nuclear weapon. So 3 times when Iran thought there's a credible threat, they changed everything. Will Iran see in Donald Trump a credible threat? Well, today Trump was releasing a very interesting statement where he said that as far as he's concerned, whatever the Houthis are shooting, it's as if Iran shot it because this is an Iranian weapon. So basically he's holding Iran responsible for any strike on US vessels. Now 3 aircraft carriers are on the way. Multiple strikes. In the last 2 hours alone, close to, I don't know, almost 100 Houthis were killed near Hodeidah on a strike on a missile factory. Quite a few leaders of the Houthis were killed in the last 48 hours. Credible threat. And Trump is doing that in the middle of the night in order to make it look even better, because when it's dark, the explosions are way more spectacular and seen. And folks, the Middle East is about to explode. Again, Israel is striking in Lebanon nonstop, striking in Syria nonstop. There are clashes between Lebanon and Syria themselves, strikes in Iran, and both the Iranians and the Iraqis are bracing for something big. Now, your news will not tell you that. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're gonna get a lot more in the near future.